And good Thursday morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. We start today out still cool. It's perfect weather for almost October. Is it? September the 29th is where we are. 50 degrees as you're waking up. We'll expect a high of only, well, I guess it's a lot more. 29 degrees higher. We'll go to 79 for a high today. But yet again, let me remind you, we'll have winds of 5 to 10 with gusts up to 20 miles an hour. So a little breezy once again, and with that being said, let's don't burn because it could be a mess there if it gets out. It's tempting. You have just a little bit of time off from work. I know how that is. And you got to do something, and you light something to burn it, and this wind catches it, and we got a mess. So hold off a few days. We need a little rain before you do any of that, and this shall pass. I promise you. A lot of things going on this weekend that I hope you can get out and take advantage of. You ever had your computer just really not like something? I don't know why, but a program I've used forever will not work for the last 2 days. But I'll show it to you. It doesn't look as neat as it should, but it's important that we get the message out, so I'm going to do this till I have somebody come in and correct this for me. A benefit this weekend. Let me pull this up, and I'm just going to have to click this button, I think, to make it look the best I can. A co-ed softball tournament is going to be held at West Lauderdale this weekend. Now, this is for Deputy Chu, who was injured, hasn't been able to work. All the money will be raised to help him out. Begins at 8 a.m., $20 per person. If you can come out and support that, they would certainly appreciate it. All that gets all underway at 8 a.m. Again, softball tournament for Deputy Chu, who has been down on his luck, not able to work. And we all know how that works when you still got bills to pay. So if you could come out and help that, again, that's going to be at Lauderdale, West Lauderdale this weekend. I also want to bring up the Mount Pleasant Baptist Church. They've got a big fundraiser they're doing there, a yard sale. It's going to happen on Saturday from 7 a.m. until 3 p.m. If you'd like to go by and help them out as well, that's one of the things that they're doing. Let's see here. We've also got the Highway 15 yard sale. This is a big event every year. It begins in Newton and goes to Mabin. I don't think I've showed this this week, but make sure you go by and check that out. It will begin today and last until October the 2nd on Sunday. Again, it's huge. If you like yard sales, that's the place to go this weekend. All along that route, you can take advantage of that. Before long, we're going to be getting ready for trunk or treat. I'll get this in the mix tomorrow. The Meridian Police Department getting ready for their annual trick or treating for the kids. That's always good. They'll have it there at the police department, their third one in a row. Hey, little girl. My best friend, as you'll see here, she hangs around with me up here, and she doesn't go far. She's afraid she'll miss a treat. Nothing like a dog. If you don't have one, make sure to get one. They like you when no one else does. She's my best bud in the world. She's just now getting over that madness with me after my wife bought a new puppy. And, I mean, she literally got upset with me, wouldn't have anything to do with me for about a month and a half. She took it personal. Wouldn't ride in the car, wouldn't get in the truck, just wouldn't have anything to do with me. She used to sleep by my feet every night. She wouldn't do it. She's finally gotten over it and realized that the other dog is a heathen. There's no other way to word it. She just gnaws all the time, the puppy in her, chews her ears, and, well, she's finally getting used to it now. Yesterday, let's start talking about what's going on. We all got pets, don't we? As we go to I-20, there would be a wreck yesterday that would halt traffic from roughly the Meridian Airport all the way back to Russell. What happened? As we know, you come past the airport exit and you get on top of that bridge and you got all those concrete barriers where they're working. Let's go here and take a look at what we've got as we pull up back to our Facebook page. This is the scene. If you were looking here, see this car that's sideways? It's blocking the entire road. Now, that would also be an 18-wheeler involved with this. And the way I understand it, they were side by side, and whose fault it is, who knows? But they bumped one another. And as we go through these pictures, that's what the car looked like in the end. Now, I think everybody walked away from this, and thank heavens for that. But look at the damage of that. Now, as your mama would say, that would make you absolutely want to go get some clean underwear after something like that. But they all live to tell this. That is wonderful. But a scary situation. There was just nowhere around it. Officials had to go through the back way to get here because, as you see, all lanes were blocked to get records on the scene there and get it all cleaned up. And that's a windshield shot of what went on. Another view of that same wreck. Scary. But at the end of the day, all was good. And thank heavens no one was seriously injured and they were able to go home at the end of the day. That'll give you a story for your grandkids. And as I brought up that traffic, I want you to look at this. This is just a bird's eye view traveling east on I-20. This was even after they had just pulled the car away and traffic was starting to move. Let me pull this up here. Look at this out the windshield view of what's coming down I-20 with the block. That is a ton of traffic. It goes on and on as far as the eye can see. And this goes on for minutes. If you want to watch that video, it's posted on our page there. You can view that. And again, as I said, I think it was backed up from what I was told all the way back to I-20. Now, one of the things that we're working on this morning, we'll hear from Chief Deputy Ward Calhoun here in just a little bit. There was a small car chase here last night in the Meridian area, so we'll pull this up. That's what you can look at. Now, it's not a lot there, but you do see all the blue lights in the background. It's not a detailed video, but it does give you an idea of just how serious this was. This would start somewhere around 8th Street and 45th Avenue. There on 8th Street. I think I've got a map of that. Yeah. Now, again, the route that I've got on this map does not show the way it actually went. Let me pull this up so you can kind of see what we're looking at. Here's 45th and 8th Street. Now, way out here's where it would end. Let's zoom in on this. But this is not the route that it would take. This is the shortest distance to that location when you put this in. But along here on 8th Street, as you come along, this would be about where O'Reilly Auto Parts is. The blue lights would come on, and this person would travel north. They would go all up through here and circle around, go up to Royal Road. They would go on up north and carry it up State Boulevard. They would go up to North Hill Street, and I don't know where else. But it went on and on and on. This would finally, as we look at this, take a turn and go across North Hill Street, and they would make their way out to the southeast area. Right about right here. Let's zoom in on this on Highway 496 as we come across here and look at this. This is where it would end, right there. After deputies threw out spikes, it would all be over and someone would get a ride to jail. Let's see here. And I just got the update from Ward as we're talking about this. Deputies initiated a traffic stop for a traffic violation near Highland Park. The driver did not stop. The pursuit started at 12:43 a.m. last night. Numerous traffic violations went through Meridian, went through Marion, then east to Lauderdale County. The pursuit ended after a tire deflation system was used. In other words, spikes. MPD, Marion, and the Meridian and the Mississippi Highway Patrol assisted in this. Ward tells us that he'll have a little bit more information on the charges later today. Interesting. Again, that happened began at 12:43 a.m. That's in the wee hours of the morning. All our mamas told us to be in bed by then, didn't they? But they caught him. Hopefully we'll find out. And, of course, that's going to be felony fleeing to some extent there. A pretty serious charge. But we'll find out more about this. And as I've got the video there, that was somebody that's happened along as he went by, and they got in behind with a video as they passed him there. No one was hurt. No one was injured, thank heavens. You never know when people start fleeing why they're going, what lengths they'll go to get away from the law. But thank heavens no one was hurt. He was taken into custody. As we look around at some other things that happened yesterday, we thought maybe this was going to be pretty serious. Ward just texted back and said that it all ended at 1:15. So that's about a 33-minute car chase. Boy, that went on and on, didn't it? Woo. We had another incident yesterday, and this could have been a whole lot worse, as emergency responders were called to Sellers Drive in Meridian. Why? Well, something went on there as we pull this up to take a look. An 18-wheeler overturned. Well, who, what, how? Most likely, as we'll click on this and just show you this of who all showed up on this, they were unloading asphalt. And I've seen this in person before. As you'll raise those dump beds up. If that load shifts in any way when it's at its tallest point trying to dump it, it can cause that weight to shift and the truck go over. And I'm assuming that's what happened. Now, can I be made a fool of by using that word? I sure can. But that's a pretty good assumption of what went on. I was not on the scene by what I am told. So that's what we're looking at. Now, and a lot of this stuff we're going to go back over at 8 o'clock. I hope you'll join us as we talk about these things. All of this is leading up to something that should never happen in Meridian. Let's go here, take a look at this. Briarwood Road, northeast Lauderdale area. If you watch this video, this car right here was stolen. A white Challenger. Beautiful car. A lot of folks want those. Some folks want them bad. This is the license plate. Jay Breezy. That is out there somewhere still. This car was stolen. And just to show you, here's the video. His mom sent this in to us. As he pulled up, went to the house, went inside, and boom, that quick, his car was stolen. There it goes. And he walks out and thinks,
somebody just took my car. Yeah. I swear to God. Yeah.
And just like that, his car was stolen. That's how quick it can happen. Criminals, they just lay in wait, I guess is the word on that. Took his car and gone. Now, what would happen next later on during the day? At first, I thought there was a tie-in. I had several people mention that they thought they saw a Charger in the area. 14th Street is where we are. This is beyond serious, and I want everybody to pay attention. As a matter of fact, I've got Mike Street coming in this morning. He's going to be our guest at 8 o'clock as we talk about how to protect yourself. What do you do in these instances? This was, and I'm not sure that a lot of people are aware of what went on yesterday. There was a major shootout in the streets of Meridian, Mississippi. And I'm not talking a back street somewhere where nobody travels. This is where you go to the hospitals, the main fairway to the hospitals, 14th Street, Front Street. Let me just show you this. I got Chris Reed to go out for me yesterday. I was tied up in the studio working on things, and he went and got me some pictures. Now, this is not from the shooting, but this is from the scene of where it happened. How many of us have sat here at this red light right here? This used to be, and I'm not sure what it's called now on the right, over here, the old Dixie gas station. This is 14th Street. This is the old Acme Plaza there on the left. This is where that shootout would begin. If you'll see right up through there, and then this carries you on toward downtown. Right there, and that's the Quick Stop is what it's called now. Used to be the Dixie gas station that's set there, and they built a new store. But even an ambulance was at that red light when this happened. And I've spoken to two people that were there at the red light. A car is sitting there, and a car pulls up beside them, and guns come out, and bullets start flying. One person was taken to the hospital with multiple gunshot wounds. I think it was 3. I've counted 5 to 6 to 7 rounds, at least in the car. I think there were more rounds fired. In broad daylight, Meridian, Mississippi. Do y'all realize what could have happened here? I mean, it could have been numerous casualties. Where do those bullets go? They go somewhere. They don't stop when they just hit something that's thin metal. No, they keep traveling. We have got to put a handle on this some way, shape, form. And, of course, we lean toward our folks that are our leadership, our mayor, Jimmy. We need help. Used to, and y'all know this, when there was an argument, when things like this happened, it usually happened in, some old honky-tonk, some old back road in a bar room. Arguments happened and people may have shot at each other. It is no longer that way. They are no longer scared. They take their arguments to the streets and they settle it wherever they find the person that they've got a difference with. Now, did they know who they were shooting at? Absolutely, they knew who they were shooting at. This was not a unplanned, just shoot at anybody. They picked this particular person out, and there will come a day where we will have to do a news story where this is increased to where someone is walking down the street and there's a crowd behind them. Y'all know this can happen that quick. Again, broad daylight, 1 o'clock in the afternoon, gunshots, wide open area in the streets of Meridian, Mississippi. What do? Jimmy, we can't wait any longer. We have got to put an end to this. before innocent people are killed in some senseless shooting. It goes on and on and on. And again, I urge you to join me this morning at 8 as we'll have Mike Street in, Street Defense. He does a lot of training. And we want to talk to him. He's a former Meridian police officer. I think he was also a former deputy. He owns his own company now and does a lot of this. Also was the chief down in Stonewall, I think, at one time. A lot of background in police, knows a lot of things. I'm concerned. I hope you're concerned. Remember what we told you a few weeks ago, attempted murder in Meridian of an 86-year-old man. I don't think a lot of people have really paid attention to that story. He goes to the police, tells that he saw something. After he tells what he saw, they come to his home to kill him. Meridian, Mississippi. What are we going to do? It's time to put an end to it, without a doubt. I'm concerned, and I hope you are. There's only one way you can do this, and that's by voting. Let your voice be heard. City Hall has got to hear this. If you don't speak up to them, nothing ever will be done. It's brushed off as, that's just part of what happens nowadays. If you draw a line and speak your piece, they know how you feel as a voter. They have to hear from you. I'm not sure when the next city council meeting will happen, but it needs to be addressed. That's without a doubt. We also had another bad accident late in the evening yesterday as we go out to Highway 19. That's where it all went down there at the red light there. North Hills is on the right. Let's pull this up where you can take a look at this. We had an accident right there. El Norte, where it is right there, right here at that red light there. Ambulance was called to scene, the Meridian Fire Department, Police Department. We certainly hope everybody is okay. As I haven't read all the comments on there, but I see that somebody mentioned that somebody was injured. I'll go back and glance at those today. Whew. Accidents happen that quick. Have your eyes and peeled at all times as best you can. Sometimes you just can't afford it. And you're right. Don Griffin said it's not just a Meridian problem. I agree with you. This is a nationwide problem that we have. But we don't want it in our little town. Let's put a stop to it. And that's what I mean. But when I bring this up, I agree with you 100%. Every story that I cover nationwide, there's senseless crime. There's people hurt for no reason. Elderly pushed down, robbed, taken from. It's as if no one cares anymore. But we're not the rest of the world, are we? No, we're not. We're small town. We're Mississippi. And if we want to, we can stop this. You can't do it. One person can't. It's got to be a group effort to handle this. We've got to have police presence. We've got to have more. How do you do that? We support our police. We can't be like the rest of the nation that turn their back on the police and defund them and treat them badly. We know what's going on nationwide. That's what's come to this. Criminals think they can get away with whatever they want nowadays. We just have to be a little different than the rest of the places, don't we? I think so. We turn to Jackson. Let's look at this story first. As you did point out there, bad things happen everywhere. Crystal Springs. Let's talk about that. You're at a ball game with your children. You walk out. Matter of fact, it was homecoming. They walk out to the car, a mother, her son, who is 20, and a daughter, I think, that was a little bit younger. They get in the car to leave, and what happens? Gunshots ring out. Her 20-year-old son was killed at a homecoming football game. He took a bullet to the back of the head, through the window. The bullets rang out. She rushed to the hospital. They tried to save him, and they couldn't. 20 years old. 3 have been arrested for that. And again, that's not Meridian. Could it have been Meridian? Yeah. It's Mississippi, our state. Our friends at Dark Horse Press were telling us about that story. That gives you the heebie-jeebies. There's no other way to put it. We do see that we have another man in Jackson, Mississippi that was found, he was deceased near a business as they showed up to go to work. They have no idea who he is. There's an investigation ongoing there as to what happened. They hadn't released any information on that. Sykes Road, we look at Jackson, another person has passed away. Wait a minute, he was killed. Jackson, probably over 100, I would think, at this point. Meridian is sitting at 11 murders for the year. Jackson, the last count I'd gotten was right around 90, and that was weeks ago. There have been more. So we're right at the 100 mark there. Birmingham's even higher. And as we go south of here, You go to New Orleans, it holds the all-time record there. It is taking it away from St. Louis, murder capital of the United States, St. Louis. New Orleans is taking it from St. Louis. I got that mixed up. Right here in the South. These crimes aren't somewhere else. They're in our back door. And that's why I say if we continue to let this stuff happen, we'll be higher statistics, and we don't want that. Whew. Let's see here. Someone stole a car yesterday, Madison, Mississippi. That's over near Jackson there. Police happened to see him going down the road. He tried to flee. He had stole someone's 2014 Chevrolet truck. Well, it's tore up now. They're without a vehicle. He tried to run, hit several cars in the chase. He is going to jail. They've arrested him on that. Sad news as we go to the Mississippi Gulf Coast. An 8-month-old baby lost its life in a home fire. Oh, that's heartbreaking, isn't it? A few of the stories that are around the nation this morning. We also see that this was going to be up in Chickasaw County, Mississippi. You remember we talked about this? I think it was last week about a school that had a bomb threat called into it there in Chickasaw County. They've made an arrest. A 15-year-old did it, called it in. They can trace all of this now. It's not like the old days to where it's a digital footprint. No matter what you do, they can track you down on that. Mississippi National Guard has been called up to go help with everybody in Florida. I read where there's 42,000 linemen lined up to go to work as soon as the all clear is given to restore power. We certainly hope so. We've got more on the way as time's getting away from us. We can't cover everything that we what we needed to talk about this morning. So we'll continue a lot of this at 8 o'clock. We got your forecast next. All that's on the way. Don't rush off now. We've got some interesting stuff still to come this morning as we start your day for you. As the days get hotter, Sanders Gas reminds you to get your air conditioner tuned up. Sanders Gas can repair or replace your whole unit, whichever you need. Talk to Sanders about a tankless water heater now and never run out of hot water. Find out how easy and affordable it is to cook on gas stoves. And those backyard barbecues are coming. Don't run out of gas. Get yours refilled today. Sanders Gas, since 1946, 611 26th Avenue South, 601-693-4054. The Precast Group, offering you the best selection when it comes to a storm shelter. Located on 145 South in Meridian, where they offer above-ground shelters that can be installed in your home as you're built-in, are conveniently located right outside your home if it's already built. They also offer storm shelters that can be installed in a slight bank or on flat ground. Protect your family today with a very affordable storm shelter from the Precast Group. Highway 145 South, 601-482-0003. The Precast Group. Good morning there, Mary Alice. Glad that you tuned in this morning as well. Someone suggested we have Ward. We'll have Ward back on before long. Always a great interview to tell us what's going on behind the lines, what people do. Elizabeth Graham says her son is a lineman headed to Atlanta to help with the storm. A lot of folks on this. And let me show you this. Let's pull this up where you can take a sneak peek of what this thing is. It's not over yet. As of right now, wind speed still sitting at 63 miles an hour. The gusts are at 75 miles an hour. Middlebar sitting at 986. It's moving northeast at 8 miles an hour. And as you look at this is tragedy. I don't know if you've seen this. I haven't seen. Of course, they haven't been able to get in loss of life. I know we lost 2 in Cuba. But the water is unreal, up to rooftops in Fort Myers. The wind is strong. And I watched, and I'm sure you did. There were a lot of folks that were online that are storm chasers. Not exactly what I want to do after, especially watching all of that. These storms are bad. Always be cautious of where you go and what you do with this. Have mercy. That's the way to put that. All right, let's get into our forecast to find out what to expect today.
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
Those record highs, record lows, 2019, believe it or not, that was 3 years ago. It was 96 today. Before I came along in 1967, it was a cool 34 degrees on this morning when folks woke up. Not bad today, though, 51 as you woke up. Now, here's what we've got today. The National Weather Service calls it 76 today. We'll see 75 floating around Philadelphia, on up to Stark Vegas there at Mississippi State, 75 as well. Down south, we'll go to Hattiesburg, USM, We'll see about 78, a little warmer there. Natchez, 76 as we look around. Sunshine as we look at the rest of Alabama to our east. Tuscaloosa, a little warmer than Meridian area, 77. Should see 76 there in Livingston, Alabama today. As we look at this, still a fire watch for Alabama on this side of this. Breezy here, still not a good idea to burn. It's not recommended there at all. Wildfire conditions continue for today. Precaution, don't burn. As we look at the state of Mississippi, here's what we've got for us. Just not worth it. As we come along, and this is where we are, starting to heat up just a little bit more. It's a little bit above average in Texas right now. Hot weather out in California. Here's our 7-day outlook. As we see, 75 is expected today. Tonight, down to 51 again. Perfect weather, isn't it? 78 tomorrow, a couple of degrees, 3 degrees warmer to end the week. 0% chance of rain. As we look at the weekend, I'm not going to go to complaining about 80, are you? 56 on Saturday night. We move to Sunday morning at 57, high of 80. And the week kind of set it that way, right around 80 degrees all the way through Wednesday. No complaints. Brought to us by our good friends over at Wilson Saw and Outdoor. Now, let's go all the way through the 13th and look at this, not getting above 85. We'll have to go to the 10th to get that high there, the 9th and 10th of October there. And look at this. This is small chances of rain. There's a lot of deer hunters watching this going, you got the wrong forecast. We'd eat something better. Whew. Now, here's what we got that are brewing out there as we look back to take a look from the National Hurricane Center. We've got something brewing here, about 70% chance becoming. Again, this is what we went over a minute ago. This is an older version that I did not change for whatever reason. Again, sitting at about 62 this morning, moving there. Those degrees are wrong. I made a mistake on that one. Didn't swap that out on that chart this morning. Oh, what's wrong with me? I got it. Just didn't lay it there for us to see. Now, as we look at the fishing forecast today, today's the 29th. We'll go out to Chet's Paint and Body, our best time to fish. Today is going to be about 4 o'clock this afternoon until 6. So late in the afternoon, it should be getting good. Take a look at that. The wind's going to be northeast, 5 to 15. And again, that gust at 20 miles an hour would grab that line and, well, bird nest you if you're not careful. Watch that as you're fishing. Always a lot of fun. Take a kid. Let somebody enjoy that. Let's see here. Taylor Chew celebrating her 16th birthday, I see. Hope it's a big birthday for you there. Nope. Joe, you're right. We're not going to need those umbrellas today at all. Elizabeth says the power company crews there held up at Birmingham waiting for the storm to pass to go on toward Atlanta in that area to restore power. Again, I know in our area we're not seeing much from this other than a little bit of wind. But this is a ferocious storm. Had that storm went out and stayed in the Gulf longer, because it was pretty much a quick trip right across there to Florida when it entered the Gulf. Had it had time to build, there's no telling how bad this would have been. It's horrible as it is. This thing could have been really, really even worse than that, threatening our area. Let's hope this is the last of the season. I'm afraid I'm wrong, but let's keep our fingers crossed. All right, it's going to wrap up. We'll be back in 1 hour from now. Join us. It all gets underway at 8 a.m. this morning. More details of things that are going on. Join us, won't you? We'll be here, Facebook, YouTube, all these great areas. And also we'll be coming to you at Fox 30 this morning, all right here at the Scotty Ray Report. We look forward to seeing you.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners: